All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 729. I'm your host, GPD, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man who would do anything for Hideo Kojima, Wombat.
And a Klondike bar?
Any little favor that he needed, as long as he would appreciate it, he would be forever in your debt.
I would need to hear from him personally.
I wonder if that was on the table.
Not from his people. I would want to hear from him. He would have to physically either call me. No, yeah, it would be a call,
right.
Maybe a Zoom. Like I would do a Zoom.
That's not too much to ask, to be honest.
I don't think it is. You want me to pull down my story.
Pants.
Yeah, my pants and my story where I say Hideo Kojima likes to eat poop.
Right.
You know, sources.
I don't think that's what it was.
Unnamed sources say that he likes to eat poop. And
No.
if he calls me, personally, I'll take down my poop story.
I don't even know what the leak was. I just saw the headline.
Something about a game that they may or may not be working on.
Right.
And some site I never heard of posted it about it. And then they were like, you got to take that down. And he was like, no. And I think that was the whole thing.
Was it Death Stranding too?
I don't think so.
Then I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Nice. So welcome to the show, everybody. What's been going on, Wombat?
Nothing.
Nothing. You can't say nothing.
Nothing.
We're doing a show. You have to make something up at least.
We're very, we're getting ready for summer.
It's here.
It's summer.
It's fucking hot already.
I know. I went in my trash pool before the show.
Nice.
So
How's
this is the same trash pool from last year?
It is the same trash pool from last year. It held up pretty well. Not great. This is my advice. If you get the Intex pool, particularly this, I have the 16x4 pool, which is a good size. Nothing wrong with the size. Don't get the one that I have that has the fancy
board,
the fancy windows. It has like a clear plastic window band around the pool.
What does that do?
It's
like people see your legs from outside the pool. It lets
people see you when you're in the water. Like the kids can go up to the window and press.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah, and it's cute, but
leaky.
Yeah. After a season, they crack easily
because Flex seal that up.
I did. I sure did. We bought the clear Flex Seal tape, and you know what works really well? Clear Flex Seal tape and the spray. We do. Did you
take a video of yourself slapping it on?
I should have. There's one big crack that we have so much tape and Flex Seal on, it's kind of laughable, and that totally works. And there were two smaller ones that were just like the commercial, where it was the slap it on and forget.
Were your neighbors out there applauding you as you were applying?
They might as well have been.
They were all peeking over the fence going, is it going to work? Is it going to work? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. No way, $50 that it's going to work. No, I'll take that.
Especially when you use the spray, it takes 24 hours for it to set.
So it got noisy out there in the backyard. People cheering.
So you're like, okay, we'll know tomorrow if this really worked or not. And then when you come back out that next day and there's no water dripping, you're like, I'm the greatest pool fixer-upper that's ever lived.
Nice.
But we took a dip in it today. Is there anyone in the chat room? I just see nothing. Sorry, I don't mean to derail. I just was like,
well, how can you be talking and reading the chat at the same time?
I usually don't, but I usually can in my peripheral, I see it moving.
Right.
There it goes. Now it's moving. That was weird. I was like, are we doing a show for no one? That's all.
No, most people do not consume the show through this format of Twitch.
I know.
It's 2%.
That's
so
fine.
We're always basically doing a show for no one here.
Oh, they're nice people.
For the hot ladies.
Yeah.
Oh, where's that comment? Where's that show feedback? That was the best one.
I don't really know what you're talking about.
There's a show feedback. Somebody who, I guess he was a big Obi-Wan. I can only assume that they were a big Obi-Wan
fan. I didn't
fan.
Include any of those.
Why? I mean, it was good.
You got
drama.
Involved with it in the chat room.
I stopped reading it after. I don't know if anything happened.
Yeah, I just used the non-related ones.
People, if you criticize something, even something that you're you don't think it's terrible, but you have some criticism for it. If people just love it, some people just can't take that, and they have to lash out at you and say like, oh, you don't like anything, or you do things to get girls to impress you, like in high school.
I know. I trust me. I get it, because I still get a lot of people that try to. These are the two comments I get most from people that are mad at me. It's, well, you like Fortnite, so your opinion doesn't matter. Or the other one that I still get a lot, even though I haven't watched the show in 2 years, was, you like Legends of Tomorrow, so therefore you can't say what TV shows are good and bad. And I'm like, and again, those are two arguments that literally hold no weight or water. But because it's like, oh yeah, I guess that's how it works. If I like hot dogs, I can't critique a steak.
It's it's some people just can't.
Nobody's ever said that about you, Wombat.
What, that if I like hot dogs, I can't critique a steak? No one will ever say that.
No one's ever going to say that about you.
Right.
For the record, I do like hot dogs and steak.
Wait, the comment is from Two Kings. He says, I used to like this podcast. Now it's a cynical snark fest where the hosts just snipe at each other like high school teens desperate to look cool in front of the hot girls. So chat, I hope you guys are hot.
Also, I think it's
all my best stuff.
What I read that comment to be is that you two are too mean to me.
No.
Yep.
I read it
No,
too.
you guys are too mean to me, and you should be nicer.
No, because then he says,
nicer to me.
I don't think that's what he meant.
I was just curious that he thought that this show was attracting all the hot girls.
No, it was a metaphor. It was a metaphor.
Sure. No, I mean, I get a lot of pictures in my DMs, so I mean, I think that's accurate.
So we're like high school teens, desperate to look cool in front of the cool girls.
Sliding into my DMs after every show.
No.
And I have to reply back, I'm sorry, I'm married. That's what I say. I actually have it set to an auto reply. So if you send me a DM, it auto replies back. It says just, sorry, I'm married. By the way, I should totally do that.
0 replies. Your bot has never activated once.
Not one time.
The best part of the feedback, though, is that he really doesn't like Shipwreck. He says, I'm genuinely embarrassed by all three of you, but especially for Shipwreck, because he's from Ohio, where this guy's from.
But Ohio kind of sucks.
So.
He should expect suckiness from Shipwreck, is what you're saying?
I mean, your governor kind of sucks now. But whatever, that's a whole different thing.
It's not, he is supposed to represent the people's will and the people themselves. So maybe you're right, Wombat.
Mm-hmm. So there it is.
Maybe I'm onto something.
I know. That with Shipwreck with his U.S. Army propaganda T-shirts and his Pac-Man behind him.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I got.
That's what's wrong with America.
I don't know.
And our podcast.
No one should take me seriously. Yeah.
How about some more show feedback?
Sure. This is from Mike the Bassist. Beautiful show as always. I miss Bread's done. I thought I said it. Did it get cut off in the record?
No, you did say it, but I took the audio from Twitch and I don't know. It's not really that interesting.
Okay. So as long as I did actually say it, that's all. I didn't listen to the show, so I don't know. But if you say that I said it, then the streak is still alive. That's all I care.
Oh, that's what you cared about? Okay. You said it, but I stopped broadcasting before.
Fair enough.
And I had to go to the Weed Expo at the Javits Center the next day, so I didn't have time to be editing a podcast.
You don't want to talk about you don't want to talk about the Weed Expo?
I do.
So talk about the weed. You said what's going on. You could talk about what's going on.
I didn't say I wasn't going to talk about the Weed Expo. I was about to talk about the Weed Expo.
Would you have preferred an all digital Weed Expo?
No, never. Horrible idea.
So is it like the food expo where you walk around and they're just giving you free samples at every booth?
No. This is at the Javits Center. I don't know if you've been.
I can't believe there's a weed expo at the Javits Center. By the way,
it's a corporate. It's like a business to business type of expo. I've been to like a ton of these things. Like I've worked them. I've been just like an attendee. It's just like that, except the booths are all weed related. Like some of them are about packaging. Some of them are about like, display cases that you would have in your dispensary. Some of them are actual brands of weed that is being grown in I forgot, in Hudson Valley was one booth. I went with Ben Gilbert, by the way, who was covering the the show for his publication, his ex publication now. It was free, and it was free. So I was like, of course I'm going to go. Yeah, it was basically that. I mean, there were 2 booths that I found that were actually selling weed out of maybe like 100 booths. One of them was like, hey, we have these bracelets that you can buy. Now, if you buy 1 bracelet, we'll give you a free gift of a pre-roll joint. If you buy 2 bracelets, we'll give you 3 pre-rolls. Now, if you buy these rolling papers, we'll give you an 1/8 of weed. Now, if you buy 2 rolling, it was a whole thing like that. And it was just like, why even go through the ridiculousness of this? And then there was one other booth that was basically just selling it. Like they just had a table and a list of weed. And then you would ask them, you tell them what you want, and then they would give it to you.
Nice. So was it fun?
It was very fun. I would say like the best. I haven't been to the Javits Center before where it's been that empty, where you just open up the door and it's just like there's one person for every like 1,000 feet of space, basically. And on the show floor, it wasn't empty. But I got to see the mayor speak. The mayor of New York City.
The mayor of Weedtown?
The mayor of New York City.
Okay.
Came and gave, like, he was the keynote speaker or something. He was scheduled to speak. That's why Ben was there to cover it. Wombat, stop listening already.
I'm listening, and I have work too. Also,
wait, you're doing work now?
I'm so overwhelmed with work. I haven't slept in like 4 days.
Well, we don't need to do this show. This is just for fun, so it shouldn't be like a situation where you have to be doing work.
I'm present. You were talking about Ben. Keep going.
That's not what I was talking about. What was I talking about? Who was I listening? Was I listening to speak?
You were listening to someone speak. It was great.
Right. Mm-hmm. The mayor of New York City. You might have heard of him.
Oh, okay. He sucks though. Doesn't he kind of suck?
He really sucks. He was supposed to speak for 15 minutes. He spoke for like 4. The first thing he said when he got on mic, he's like, I'm really disappointed that this room doesn't smell like weed. I was expecting it to I was going to come in and it was just going to be smoke and smell like weed. And I'm very disappointed. And he said a bunch of bullshit for like a minute. And then by finishing, he said, all right, guys, everyone light one up for me. Obviously you're not supposed to be smoking in the fucking convention center, but he's like, all right, light one up. And then just like, walked down the aisle. And as people were waiting for the next beer to get up there, some guy was just like shrugged his shoulders and had like a big joint in his mouth and just the mayor said he was disappointed it didn't smell like weed and to light one up. So the guy did. Anyway, the key takeaway is if you can go to a weed expo for free, I would recommend it.
All right.
Especially with Ben Gilbert.
I was not invited, so, what can you do? I didn't find out you 2 were there until you sent a text saying, hey, look where we are. Otherwise, maybe I would have taken the train in and met you at
You don't
the
have a job?
I could take an afternoon off.
You just told me you were in swamped. You're fucking looking at your work right now.
I
this
know.
Was Friday. What are you talking about?
The invitation would have been nice.
Yeah, well, it wasn't mine to make.
Too. I don't know.
I mean, you could at least have invited me so I could have said, no, I'm sorry. I'm too busy at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't my invitation.
Did you at least get Wombat a present or something?
No, I don't want presents. I want presents.
You want weed?
No, I don't want a present.
Oh, presents.
I want your presents.
Yeah.
Not your presents.
I don't know about that. Anyway, that's the weed. So that's the weed expo. They have a very nice park across the street where you can smoke weed too.
Nice.
And they even have a smoking section in the park.
Last time I was in the Javits Center was probably the car show in 2014.
It's not like that. It's so empty.
That's so weird.
Compared to that. Like, it's just, yeah, it's great. It was nice. It was very breezy in there. I felt like COVID was just blowing right by me. So it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Any other show feedback?
Well, according to a asparagus pea smell, after we had talked about my incident where the can of seltzer flew out of a box into my elbow whilst we were in a car that stopped short. As Wombat has discovered, SUVs are much more dangerous than a normal car. They are classified as trucks and don't meet the same safety standards. The statistics around them are shocking. You are twice as likely to kill someone or be killed yourself while driving one Considering the horrific environmental impact, these vehicles are a monstrous obscenity, which should immediately be banned, and the people that manufacture them
Wow.
charged with crimes against life kind.
This comment went someplace.
I don't
quickly.
even know what that means. And there we
Life
go.
kind? I don't think that's a word.
I don't think that's a word either. I mean, I don't
I agree
know.
with him though, except for the part with the crimes against life kind.
Yeah, I'm the SUV comes in very handy for us because we have a lot of crap that we have to bring around to places. But
There's also a thing called a hatchback, which was a pretty good invention back in the day.
well, that's what my car is. The EcoSport is more hatchbacky than the
Right.
than the Explorer, which is more SUV. I also had someone said to me I should spend the extra $20 and just get a net. We actually do have the net, but the net is for the back of the SUV. So when you open that back door, things don't roll out. There is no net for the other side of
There
the back.
is. They have hooks. You don't have hooks?
No.
What kind of SUV is this?
This is a Ford Explorer. There's no hook for the other side. There's a hook for the door side. There are hooks that you could put the net up so things don't roll out.
There's
when you open the
hooks.
back door. There isn't.
There are hooks.
There is no back. There is no, like, would that be a front net or because the back net would be all the way in the back? Mid net. There is no mid net option for the Explorer.
For the Subarus, you have a net that goes. You can buy a net that goes up in the back, like you're talking about, but then it also has a secondary direction where the cargo net straps down so that you can up near the third row of seats, so you can hold stuff down.
I don't know. I'll have to look into it. I don't think there is, but whatever.
Can you not put car seats in a Ford Explorer?
I don't know. I've never attempted to put.
Don't they have the net? You're talking about the ship. You're talking about the net that goes on like from the top down, right? Like the four corners net.
There's several different options.
That's what I have in my car.
There's a sliding cover that kind of fits down and just covers up the top. Then you have a net that you can come up from the backside, like Wombat's talking about.
Right.
But then it also goes along like the floor of the back, and you can just strap stuff down to it. You strap stuff underneath it.
Oh, you're okay. That's a different type. I'm talking about like putting a net up like that hangs down behind the back seats. That does not exist. If you're saying there's something I could like put as like a drape over to hold things in place, I have not looked into that.
You should look into it.
Okay, I will look into that. The drape over style, but I'll have to look. To see where
I feel like Asparagus Piece Smells stats might be handpicked here.
I agree with his general sentiment. I don't know about the factual nature of it, but I agree with his general feelings. I feel like somehow Americans have decided that bigger is better, and yeah. You know what the problem is that the gasoline was too cheap here. And so like people didn't really give a shit if they drove a huge fucking tank that got 20 miles to the gallon. So maybe now they're going to be more careful. If gas costs like $7 a gallon, like in every other country in the world, like our gas is way cheaper. So anyway, most like soccer moms don't need to drive a fucking Denali. Like it's, those things are crazy.
There's a wide range of SUVs.
Yes, there are.
It's
very wide.
Right.
I don't have the largest.
No, I know you don't. I know. What's the one the Escalade?
Yeah.
One time I saw an Escalade in Tokyo, only once, and it was pulled up right next to a Japanese commercial van, truck. Like it's like a box truck, but they're very compact. And the Escalade was bigger, like almost bigger than a fucking commercial box truck in Japan. So, and it was just ridiculous looking. So we're fucking it up basically for everybody here in America.
All right, then.
What else?
This is a follow-up to a listener that said he was going through old episodes of our show and Shipwreck's old show and buying all the games we recommend. That would be Idiot Man 09, which seems like a fitting name.
Perfect name for doing this activity.
Yes. And he says, of course he bought the gold edition of Naughty Bear. It just wouldn't be right to not buy it. So that answers that mystery from last week. And while it was bought as more of a gag, it's actually not a terrible game. I'm on the hunt now for another game recommendation from Wombat, Second Sight. Just have not seen it at the price I want yet. That game is excellent. And because he said, I'm like, how much is that game going for? It's like 15 to 20 bucks on the Xbox, and it might be as high as 30 on the PlayStation 2. So that's not dirt cheap, I guess.
Nice. All right.
That's a good game.
Time for Watch This, Jerks.
Yes.
What you watching?
Am I the only person who watched a movie in the last week?
Fuck these movies. They're too long. Although I saw that Everything Everywhere All at Once, or whatever that's called, is now available to buy on streaming services for $20.
I want to see that. My daughter saw that in the theaters of all.
Yeah, I could lay out $20 for that. I wouldn't feel too bad about that.
No, probably not. But I watched another independent movie. I think it's independent. I don't know.
Did you have to lay out $20 for it?
No, it's on what is it, on Paramount Plus? I watched The Northman, which is I forget the name of the director. It's the guy who directed The Lighthouse and The Witch, but the W is two V's. The Witch. It's got Anya Taylor-Joy in it. Huh? Yeah. He makes weird movies, and The Northman is no exception to that. If you were like, oh, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but a movie, but on acid, then if I got the movie for you, The Northman is graphically violent, and yet also sometimes a little too slow. It's long. It's beautiful at the same time, like cinematography wise, and just the look of the film.
It sounded a lot like Iron Fist until you said it looks beautiful.
It's because it's got these big sweeping landscapes of Iceland, and everything was filmed on location, and they do a really good job of using the environment. You know, they try to apparently things are very accurate. Like I checked afterwards, like, oh, I wonder how accurate this is to, you know, how things may have been. But then there's also like supernatural things that pop up out of nowhere. So I'm like, so this is as realistic as it could possibly be. And now we have like supernatural stuff going on also. So the tonality wise, it kind of shifts a lot. Also, I hate to say it because it sounds rude, but Nicole Kidman's face doesn't match with this movie because, you know, it looks like this.
Oh.
Yeah, she's had too much work done to be able to be in a period piece anymore. It just doesn't work. Like you could tell that her face has been like.
Maybe she's a mongoloid. She could be a mongoloid.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, or somebody with a.
I did like it, and I think Cheapy would really like it. I think Shipwreck would hate it.
All right, I would watch that.
I think you'll like it.
You'd be signing up for Paramount Plus right now.
I'm not doing that.
No, I don't think you need to sign up. I'm not saying go out of your way to watch it.
Are you excited the Beavis and Butthead movie's coming to Paramount Plus?
Yeah, I'll survive.
You're not going to.
What do you mean? It's good. The first one was good.
You have this service.
He's watching it.
And you're not going to watch the new Beavis and Butthead movie?
I mean, I'm sure I'll give it a shot.
Day one, he's watching that.
You're going to watch it like
10:30 a.m.
in the morning,
10:30 a.m. That's being watched whenever the day is that it comes out.
I did watch Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story again because that was on. Exactly. That's on there now.
I rest my case.
I love that movie. That movie is so good. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes, we've talked about it a million times. It's fun.
I know because I love that movie.
How about Obi-Wan? Is it as good as Obi-Wan?
I haven't watched the new episode yet. Have you?
Neither. No, I've watched 3.
Yes, that is as many as I
was shocked to learn that there's only 6 episodes of this because not much has happened in these 3 episodes, and they got a lot to. I heard, and then I saw on Twitter people complain that nothing happened in the 4th episode.
Maybe that's the whole point of the show, is that nothing really happens.
It's the Seinfeld of the Star Wars universe. I don't know. It's not a good.
Everything is the Seinfeld of the Star Wars universe
these days. They're going for it.
Who are these Jedi?
Where are these Jedi?
Where are these Jedi?
Why does this Jedi look like a Jedi when he's supposed to be in disguise? What does he do? What are these Jedi doing?
Jerry, there's a Jedi. He's a Jedi.
People are now, I noticed, not afraid to come out and say that Obi-Wan is not firing on all cylinders. I noticed today seemed to be the turning point on Twitter where people felt like okay to just come out and say this is not a good TV show. So without people jumping on them.
I really don't think it's a bad TV show, but whatever.
It's not that it's I feel like there's just something inherently wrong with the concept of taking a beloved childhood hero and then having 3 hours of him kind of sucking. Right? I understand he does get into a fight and he beats up some guys. But he basically, as a character, he sucks. Like, especially when you know him as like this iconic, kind of busted.
Kind of what they do with everything now, though, isn't it?
Also, he kind of sucks in A New Hope.
Okay, well, he's old and dying, and it's
I'm just saying he kind of sucks.
But we've seen him like I haven't, but other people have seen him in like the cartoons and stuff, and I'm sure he's like really cool and doing like, doing the Force and knocking the guys together and not killing them. So it's just kind of hard to watch him just be lame.
I don't know. What I say is true from a certain point of view.
Oh, God. All right. Well, hopefully...
The only talk in rhymes?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, the whole time.
That's his thing now? He just talks in rhymes the entire time?
The whole time.
It's not even that interesting. It's not even that interesting.
That would be awesome.
I hope... there's always like some good moments in these shows, at least even the bad ones. Like there's some moments where you're like, okay, I'm glad I saw that. And I don't want to spoil anything from like the first 3 episodes.
We'll talk about this later. I sense Darth Vader.
Yeah, exactly. So, but you just spoiled it though. Anyway, whatever.
Trailer.
Okay, I don't know what some people just like to not hear.
The Star Wars thing has Darth Vader in it?
He has a lightsaber, red lightsaber. I clapped when I saw it. It's anyway, there's always good moments in these shows, but it's just how many are they imbalance, like the Force? Is it just too many dumb moments that weigh down the show, or is it like a nice balance of dumb moments and like cool moments?
Can we not have like a hero character in Star Wars? Is that like not allowed? Like that there's just somebody who people want to root for constantly?
Well, Luke, CG Luke is okay. He's still on the menu. CG Luke can do no wrong.
But actually, CG. Well, Luke sucks. I mean, that's his whole arc, is that Luke is a failure. That's his whole character arc, is the failure of Luke Skywalker.
Wait, from the 3 movies?
No, we can't talk about these new movies, dude.
The new trilogy.
Well, yeah, everybody.
The
sucks.
New trilogy.
Everybody
exists.
sucks. Like
the new trilogy. As I say, the new trilogy only exists because Luke Skywalker is a complete and utter failure. He can't train one Jedi.
The whole theme of Star Wars, though, is it's turned into everybody is a super flawed character. Right? Like that's every character in Star Wars now is like, oh, this is the guy you like, but he kind of sucks too because he's like a normal dude. Like we all have problems.
Right.
It's like, why can't there just be somebody in Star Wars? It's like, hey, I'm awesome. I'm the Star Wars guy. You want to root for me? I'm gonna go use some Force here. It's gonna be cool.
That's the Mandalorian.
Mostly.
That's the Mandalorian. That's the Mandalorian.
It is. Yeah, and that's why it's enjoyable, right?
I think that's part of why it works. Yeah, and that's
CG
why
Luke. CG Luke was good too. He didn't fuck up.
CG Luke, but he's going to, and he does screw up. He screws up big time in Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
In the book of Boba Fett, Luke Skywalker is literally on the path of self-destruction in the book of Boba Fett because he doesn't understand why the Jedi failed in the first place, and he plans on repeating that scenario that you brought it up.
I don't like any of that story though, because it's all like the new stuff, and it's just
basically, you have
everybody
Luke Skywalker, whose goal is to open Jedi school, and he can't. In his first student, he loses because he doesn't understand that the Jedi rules are too rigid, and he needs to go from this medieval form of Jediism to this more Protestant Jediism.
Exactly.
That as times change.
And he needs to allow gay marriage and abortions.
Basically.
Exactly.
If he allowed Jedi, it's the whole Jedi, priest versus,
young boys. Speaking of priests and boys, are you watching The Boys season 3?
I haven't. I know it's supposedly kind of crazy, but
there's 3 episodes out,
and
it's really good. It's really good and really disturbing.
Is it good? Because I did not enjoy the end of the second season, which is why I haven't watched the third season.
The third episode, I found like some of the characters acted a little weird, and maybe it's just because we don't know what's going on yet, but it's pretty crazy and very violent. If you don't like people watching people explode and seeing all their bits, this is not the show for you. But if you do like seeing, the Justice League on crack.
There are so many body parts in the Northman,
right?
Like just strewn about body parts that I can't imagine that the boys would be any worse.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good show so far. I sort of forgot what happened last season.
My son is very loud.
I know, I can hear him.
Elliot, we can all hear you.
Stop saying the N-word, Elliot. Come on, man. You're like old enough to know better.
Yeah.
The boys.
The
boys
get
good.
up if
boys
that
are
happens.
Good. The boys is really good. I recommend. Big recommend.
I did watch the first episode of Ms. Marvel.
How's that?
That's good. I mean, as we've discussed before, I've read probably every issue, at least every issue that's available through Marvel Unlimited. So every issue up until the last 3 months, because they're 3 months behind. I'm a big fan of that series. I'm a big fan of the character. I've read that. I've read the Champions. I'm pretty in the weeds with Ms. Marvel. So the first episode for me felt a little slow because I know everything that's going to happen.
They're going with like a certain series?
They're literally starting with issue 1 of Ms. Marvel.
Got it.
So if you read issue 1, it's very much following that book, which isn't a problem. It makes a lot of sense. I just think they're taking a little bit too long to get from point A to point B in that first episode. I think that 49 minutes, I think it is, could have been the first half hour with 20 minutes of whatever the next episode is going to be about. But that's basically that.
This one's TV PG though, right? Like I can watch this with my kids.
Yeah, probably. There was really nothing in it that it's definitely more teen focused, more kid friendly, more. It's brighter a lot. 90% of it is just her talking about how being a teen is tough. The first scene of the show is her taking her driver's test, and she goes in reverse by accident and hits the car behind her. And that's the end of the driving test.
You're spoiling this for me.
I know, that's the first 2 minutes of the show. But but that's the feel of the show. It's that kind of wah wah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm down for this one.
Yeah, no, I think you'll like it, and I think it's gonna. I don't know. I haven't watched it anymore. I think it will pick up. I think they just have a lot to establish.
You have nothing to base that on.
I don't. I just know this is a character that a lot of people are unfamiliar with, so I understand why there's more setup than normal.
You just did a preview for episodes coming up that you have no idea what are in them.
Right.
I mean, I do, because I read the first series of comics.
But didn't they have to change the way her powers work or something?
Yeah.
I thought
they did change her powers, and I just want them to explain it in a way where the powers that they have are only unique to her, and that it's not, because what they did was it's now through like a bracelet that she wears. She has the powers.
Uh-oh.
And I don't want it to be like a Green Lantern situation where anyone could just throw on a ring and now they're a Green Lantern.
Right.
If you're telling me that she has the powers because that bracelet can only be worn by her, or they established that it came from her grandmother, like it could only be worn by her or her grandmother.
I don't mean to pull nerd rank, but I feel like the Green Lantern ring, not anyone can just wear it. Like I wouldn't be able to, like if the Green Lantern took his ring off and put it down.
You could put it on.
Yeah, but wouldn't it just go right back to him?
Oh, it would fly. It would.
I couldn't
fly
use
off
it. I couldn't use it. Like
if if the Green Lantern didn't will it back to him, then yeah.
Like if he was just
until it ran out of charge.
I think the Green Lantern could allow you to use it.
But like if he was like having a wank or something and not paying attention, and I took his ring,
then you could use it.
And I could use it if he didn't know.
Yeah.
He wouldn't know as soon as I like started like making.
Well, then he would be like, "Oh shit, what's going on?" And he'd be like, "Green Lantern ring."
Wait. What's the first thing you're gonna make?
Oh, a giant pile of weed, obviously. Green. It's green already. It's going to be
But you
great.
can't
It's
smoke it.
synergy.
Wait, can you smoke green
No,
lantern weed?
it's made out of like light energy or some
Like a bong,
bullshit.
maybe a big bong.
There
It's
you
got to
go.
be. I feel like the synergy there with the green. So it's got to be something. Got to be something good.
Yeah,
Or a big ping pong table.
maybe.
Those are green too.
You could also make a big ping pong paddle, and you could just have it play for you.
Yes, it
Wait,
doesn't
is
really.
this a larger than normal ping pong table?
Yeah, big one for
Like the size of a tennis court?
No, that's silly. That would suck. That wouldn't work at all. I can't see that becoming
the best
popular.
part is some people are going to comment and tell us what the rules are with the.
Oh my
rating
god, I
and
know.
whatnot.
It's good. It's good.
And it's going to be awesome. And I'm going to have to read that next week. And
Right.
either I'm right or you're right. And either way, I don't care.
Right. Perfect. Is that it for Watch This Jerks? That's it for the jerks.
Mhm.
New releases?
What time is? Yeah, we can whatever.
Knew it.
All right.
I wanted to play this Card Shark game. It looked good until I read that if you don't play for a day or two, you'll forget how to do things in the game. It's one
Card
of
Shark
these-
on the Switch.
It's on PC and the Switch. It's like an indie game where you're cheating at cards. You're playing a lot of mini games, really. But it looked like it had a really good art style, and also just like style in general. And people seem to really like that whole concept of being a card cheat. But the fact that it really needs your attention, like undivided attention, that's what it said in the review. It was like, I think Rock, Paper, Shotgun, their review. That's hard. Like, I don't want to have to like play. I don't know how long the game is, but I'm assuming it's like, not 2 hours. So Card Shark, yeah, I don't know about that.
Are you going to play Gravatar Recharged?
No, I forget what old game is that. What happens in
It's
Gravatar?
Gravatar.
It's
I mean, it's obviously
Let me
in
look
the
at that.
Recharged
Yes.
series from Atari, but
They should make like a bundle of those. The Recharged bundle of like whatever the 5 games they've released for that so far for like.
oh,
20
Gravatar doesn't
bucks.
have great SEO. It's not even the top.
Oh, I found
Gravatar.
the original one at least. I'm finding that. This one. Yeah, I don't think I've really played this one.
Oh, this is the kind of looked like Defender, but it had
Mazes.
Isn't that the one where you
Lander type mazes?
Yeah, it's like you push the button and you go for a little bit, then you gotta just let go of the button, it falls a little bit.
You have to
Then
escape
push the
these
button, you
mazes.
go a little
Yeah.
bit.
Lunar Lander mazes, basically, is what it is.
Mhm,
No, I don't want that.
But the recharge stuff's usually pretty good.
Right.
I'm waiting for Dragster Recharged.
Track and Field Recharged. That's what
Track and Field is Konami.
I know.
Come on, man.
Oh, what is only Atari games?
Only Atari games.
This is
Yeah.
Atari. Boxing.
Did they do
maybe Boxing
Battlezone?
Recharged? Combat Recharged.
They
is
did
for you.
Battlezone or no?
No, I don't think Battlezone.
I don't think
Com-
they've. Yeah, I don't think they've gotten up to the
Combat.
battle zone yet. But
yeah, that's
combat,
later. Combat
Combat.
Recharged. Yeah.
you got something there.
I think you do. I think like online play for combat, maybe plus couch co-op. of
Sounds
course.
expensive, dude. They're not spending that kind of money making these games.
I don't know.
They're doing. I mean, combat. They do couch co-op. All these games have couch
I
co-op.
know, but combat, like, you're gonna have to like balance the multiplayer. I don't know. It could be all right.
You have to
It's just-
balance the
It's just combat,
multiplayer
though.
of
It's just
combat.
combat. I don't know.
As
Is
long
that
as
going
it
to be
has,
really compelling playing combat online in 2022? I mean,
as
come
long
on.
as it has 99 modes, I'm all there for it.
I mean, you're making it
Oh, I
sound
passed
like
my
it's
mode. Let me cycle back around. I
Uh-huh.
wanted I wanted the 2 small planes with the 1 large plane with the clouds.
right. Oh,
I
fuck.
skipped right by it.
Combat is the best game of all time.
Right.
It's up there. for,
Oh no,
like-
don't get me wrong. That was like probably the first game that we played as a family in my house, and that
Sure.
everyone would play.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Everybody loves combat except
Um,
to play it in 2022.
I
Maybe.
mean, I would play it in 2022.
Right.
I'll say this now: if they make Combat Recharged, and it's not like the worst game ever made, I will buy it.
Whoa.
You heard it here first.
$10.
Like, if
That's
it's
a
not-
$10
if it's
commitment
not-
there, folks. Lock them
If it's
in.
not a broken game, like as long as it's not broken, if there's a playable Combat Recharged, I will easily drop the $10 on that.
Wow, that's exciting to imagine that $10 changing hands. Everybody write that down.
Uh-huh.
It's very exciting. Any other new releases that are exciting?
I don't
I've been
think
playing
so.
some on Game Pass, but I think, do we save those for later in the show?
What are
going
you
on with
playing
those?
that's on here?
For Game Pass, I played Space Lines from the Far Out. It's a
Is that
a local co-op. Well, we've been playing local co-op. I guess it has online co-op as well. It's like Overcooked style a little bit.
I saw that and I thought of you, so I'm glad you're playing it.
Hmm.
Yeah. So but you are running basically a commercial space airliner. And so you have aliens that are there, and you are the pilots and the flight attendants and everybody on there. You cook the meals, you're making sure you don't hit asteroids, you're steering the ship.
That sounds pretty good.
It's pretty good. The thing that Mrs. Shipwreck doesn't like about it is it's a roguelike. So as you progress through the map, it's procedurally generated, and you're picking out your destinations as you're going, and you have to like stop along the way at like restrooms if you don't have a restroom on your ship. Like you upgrade different parts of your ship, and your power supply, you have to reroute it to different things. Like I can't use my communicator at the same time she's making food,
I have
our
the same
power
thing
goes
with
the
my
same-
toaster and the hairdryer.
Yeah, same thing.
Same
We have that
concept.
issue with our toaster and the electric tea kettle.
I was joking though.
I'm not.
Well, I'm about to be really good at this game. So it's pretty well done, and at the same time, it's kind of unforgiving. Like we had been playing for like an hour, and if you get to I don't know, like a space bank, you can buy insurance for your spaceship, so you can start from there. We were almost there, but then we got to like a meteor shower, and if you get hit by one of these meteors, it's just game over.
Right. And it's a roguelike. So you
It's
lose
a
your
roguelike,
beautiful
and so we lost.
Oh.
You lose every time you stop at a port, you at least like, oh, maybe you'll unlock a new character, you unlock some like new cosmetics, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
New upgrades that you could buy, but like you lose all your money every time unless you get to the point where you've got your insurance and you've banked your money.
Nice. Yeah, those games sound pretty cool.
It is. It's a good game. I wish they had like a non-roguelike version of it though. It's like, okay, we got to this place, we're gonna save here for the night,
Right.
and
It'd be more relaxing.
come back, and then like if we didn't get to the next one, let us try it again. Like maybe they'll come out with that. Like I don't know.
They won't.
People might,
They might.
yeah, they're accommodating sometimes.
There's no reason that they couldn't do that. Like there's nothing about the game that's like, okay, we know what you had at this space station, you could play it again.
Right. What's that called again?
It's called Space Lines from the Far Out, and there's some pretty funny stuff that happens. Like if for instance, like if
I better laugh at this fucking story.
Okay.
You said it was funny.
Yeah.
You said it was funny. I'm
All right.
ready to laugh.
So
Are you ready?
you can like entertain the passengers or feed them whatever, and if you don't like entertain them, you do little dances and everything. But if they get pissed off enough, they'll start messing with your ship. And so I had a guy that with ship. Yeah. There's also there is like potty humor in there as well for you. But I had a guy that we didn't get him food in time or something like that. So he just went up and took the wheel and started driving the ship like just wherever he wanted to.
It's called a hijack. That's no laughing matter. That's an international space felony.
I find that to be very serious, and I am disappointed that you would find that amusing.
Mm-hmm. But it's pretty entertaining.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, you've been playing something too. I tried it on Game Pass.
Oh, let's do that after the break, maybe.
Maybe after the break. What's the break? What do we have in the break?
The break is that this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Life can be overwhelming, and many people are bummed out without even knowing it. Symptoms can include lack of motivation, feeling helpless or trapped, attachment fatigue, and more. Burnout is the worst. Trust me, I know I'm going through it right now. We associate burnout with work, but it's not the only cause. Any of our roles in life can lead to us feeling burned out. And BetterHelp Online Therapy wants to remind you to prioritize yourself. Talking with someone can help you figure out what's causing stress in your life. Like I said, it's been a very tough month for me so far, and it's only the 8th. I'm taking it day by day. I'm talking it out. I'm doing okay. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. So you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and CAGcast listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/CAGcast. That's BETTERHELP.com/CAGcast.
Nice. Nice. Now it's time for Wombat's Fortnightly News.
I know. It's a big Fortnite week.
Darth Vader.
Yeah, I know. Darth Vader, once you hit level 100, because the new battle pass is out, the new season is out. It's all about vibing. It's colorful. It's good. They did a good job. There's also a little bit of Fortnite controversy.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Is Elliot having a beer right now?
Yeah, that was Elliot opening a can of seltzer.
Bleh.
Some elbow-free seltzer. I mean, we don't have to talk about the Marvel Fortnite controversy if you're bored.
Let's do it. I want to hear about it.
Okay, so today the first issue of Marvel Fortnite came out.
I saw that. The guy's wearing like Portal Shell's outfit. What's up with that?
Spider-Man? Oh no, you mean Jonesy. It is similar. I don't why they put him in that. It's because he was in a prison jumpsuit and he just took the top of the jumpsuit off, so it kind of looks like that. But I see your point. So the comic came out today. It has the code for Spider-Man in the physical edition. It has a new Spider-Man skin. It's like this new, unique, just in the comic books.
You can see his cock, right?
Yeah. 2 months ago, when they made the big announcement, they said that it would be available digitally and physically on day one, that you could buy the digital edition and get your Spider-Man code. Well, they waited until the day of release to say, oh, we made a mistake in this blog post we put up 2 months ago, and you actually can't buy this digitally.
What?
And people were pissed because if you didn't pre-order these comics, they sell out pretty quickly at your local comic book shop. I was lucky to get my copy, actually 2 copies, but and that's pretty much it.
Hey, Ship, where are we dropping, Ship? Ship, where are we dropping?
From what I heard from my local comic book store guy is that he thinks that a lot of comic book shops put pressure on Marvel to pull this digital copy because it hurts store traffic.
Right.
And if they want these stores to promote this new comic, then they had to do something about it.
Do you think
stuff.
Marvel took that to heart?
I don't think Marvel listens to anybody except for Marvel.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did that because for that reason, but we'll see. I don't know. All I know is that I got my Spider-Man.
Thank God.
I think it probably could just be that they didn't feel like dealing with it on the digital side.
I don't know.
Isn't it just printed in the comics?
I mean, it wouldn't be such a big deal if they had said that on the first, anytime within the last 2 months, they could have updated the blog and said, we needed to adjust this. But to wait for the day that the comics come out to say that they're not doing that, that's what makes it a little bit on the shitty side.
More like,
well, I'm glad it worked out for you.
It did work out for me. So there's that.
Awesome. What do we got in the news?
And just regular news. There's a lot going on. So did you see this about Diablo Immortal? Because I know we talked about it last week, and people were like, "You should play it. It's pretty good."
We learned that it was on PC and mobile.
Yeah, and
not just for phones.
So I downloaded it onto my phone. I played a little bit of it, and I'm like, "This isn't bad. This is
did you tap on the bad guys, and then your guy did something?"
I used my my backbone. So no, I pushed buttons.
Oh, so that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
And how does that work with the backbone controller?
Like any other Diablo game you've ever played before.
So that's good. It sounds like it's good.
I know. And then I read this thing where, but that's like I played the first level, and it was the first level. They didn't ask me to buy anything. And I'm like, this could be fun. The problem is that if you want to fully upgrade your character in Diablo Immortal, it costs $110,000.
Do you want to do that?
I know. But
that's probably like if you want to buy like all
I
the
see these
crap.
stories, and it's like
It's bullshit, probably.
like
No one does that. Imagine what the thing is in Apex Legends if you're gonna buy all the skins in Apex Legends. I mean, it's probably.
I don't think it's that much.
Well,
but then again, that's buying skins. This doesn't say cosmetic. It's all about pay to win stuff. I guess the question is more than the $110,000 is how much do you have to spend to finish the game?
well, it's all a value proposition, right? Like how much is your time worth, Wombat? Is it worth $110,000 to just finish this game now?
Well, what is that?
Or do you
100?
want to stretch this out?
How does that save me time? Like, am I going to hit a point in Diablo Immortal where they're like, you have to wait 3 hours if you want to play again?
No, it's going to save you time because you're going to be overpowered. You're going to get through this game in a week if you spend the 110,000.
I mean, what's the balance?
Otherwise, you're going to be wasting your time with this game.
Let's
for
say
years.
I wanted to spend, basically like your basic 50 to 70 hours playing this game, like a Diablo game.
Mhm.
How much do I need to spend to do that? And is that
Probably
like the
nothing.
$50 to $60 range? Is that nothing? Is that $20?
Why don't you find out?
$1,000? Because
you
once I
like
hit
it, right?
because I'm never going to spend money in this
Right,
game.
exactly. So why don't you find out?
Right.
Can you finish? Is it a game that you can finish?
I
I
feel
don't know.
like you're probably going to play enough of it because I'm going to try this too. I'm probably going to play enough of it to get the feel of Diablo and then just forget about it because it's not like I've ever been like really invested in like I got to get to the end of this Diablo. Like I eventually get there, but it's not like I'm compelled. Like I need to see how this ends.
It's 12 gigabytes on your phone too, so
I've got those.
Okay,
Got
just
that.
letting you know. It takes up a hefty chunk. You install the app, and then once you install the app, it's like, thanks for installing the app. Now you got to download all this stuff
Hold
before you
on.
can play. Yeah, it took a long time.
I'm not gonna play that at all.
I
I
heard
don't
it's only
want that.
5 gigabytes if you give them $60,000.
I mean, seriously, would you be surprised?
I just don't believe that a free-to-play mobile game is going to have the mechanics that I am going to be happy with. Like,
Why not?
I don't know.
It'll have the mechanics. The games are pretty good.
No, I understand that, but it's going to
just a
have
matter of
it's going to have those free-to-play mobile mechanics. Like, you can't play now unless you spend 70 gems, and I don't want to. I don't want to learn currency. Sorry, that's only for like.
I've got a way for you not to have to worry about that.
Not to play it.
$110,000.
No, you still. I'm sure you can't just
For
give them.
$110,000, you get so many
No,
quality of life improvements.
you don't have to worry about currency.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure you have to actually spend that in the various currencies. It's probably not even true. It's probably still annoying.
All about quality of life.
I'm going to save the money and time by not playing the game. It's going to be really good in my life. A lot of quality. What else we got?
Let's see. Did you see this sort of fairly late postmortem about Fallout 76?
No.
That basically the developers, particularly the QA testers, were pretty much overworked to the bone on a game that some people say they knew was not going to be what the fans wanted.
Wasn't this successful though?
Well, I mean, successful, I guess, is a relative term. I don't think it was the type of success they expected. It wasn't successful in the way that Fallout 4 and Skyrim were successful.
Was it? I mean, I haven't looked at the profits of this game.
It also wasn't as successful as Fallout Shelter was, which also seemed to be a big bone of contention. That if they wanted something that was going to be this sort of online microtransaction game, Fallout Shelter wound up being that success for Bethesda, and they could have used this team. They took a lot of people from this Fallout 4 team and from other teams that were used to making these types of games and had them make a game that they're not used to making. And if they had let those people make the game they're used to making,
makes sense.
Then they may have had a better game. I mean, hindsight's 2020.
They might have had a better game, but was it the right profit that they were going to go for? Like they were going to spend a lot more to make that game, right?
Well, no, they spent a fortune making this game, and it was difficult, and it didn't work, and
I think they would have spent an extra super fortune to make a true Fallout sequel.
You should read the article because I don't think they agree with you in the article.
Okay,
because basically what they're saying, when you're making when you make an online game like this, everything has to be running all the time in the world of the game. And they made a game with a very large world, and everything had to be running in the game at all times, as opposed to a single player Fallout game where all that really needs to be, alive in the game is what the player can see. Essentially, everything else doesn't exist until the player gets there. So that's how they could adjust the resources needed for the game itself while that's going on. And that's what helps balance the costs, and why a game like Fallout 76 winds up being so expensive
a different
compared
resources, though. You're
compared
talking
to
about
a Fallout 4.
You're talking
Like if
about
they had made
server
Fallout
resources.
If they had made Fallout 5 instead of Fallout 76, would people have been happier, and would they have made more money? I mean,
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah, apparently they sold about 2.5 million copies.
It would have also been years later.
Right.
But
right.
yeah.
You're talking probably another 2 years of development time.
Could they have made like Fallout 4.5?
Apparently the game was profitable when all was said and done, but it sounded like the launch was such a disaster that it wasn't worth it because the company didn't look too great. Although they eventually, they did manage to turn it around, but I think it was sort of too late at that point.
I think they had whales in this game, right? They had
a couple
of people still playing it.
That's why it probably managed to make money.
Yeah, in time, it just took longer than expected.
Just not what they were looking for, I'm sure, in terms of the profit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I can't fault them for this. It's at least they tried to make something different, right?
I mean, they did. They just didn't go about it the right way, and they made something that I don't know if this is something that I still don't know who wanted this game.
Well, they wanted to make money because that was the trend was showing, like games as a service. They wanted to.
Yeah, they wanted to expand into a games as a service, and it made all the sense, right? Like we have this Fallout world,
right?
They have Elder Scrolls Online. They already had Elder Scrolls Online, but they didn't make Fallout Online. They made this weird sort of survival hybrid game that didn't address. I mean, they were even talking about the issue.
It's basically a Fallout game, though. If you play it, it's basically a Fallout game.
It's like a boring Fallout.
Well, yeah, because it's games as service, and that the stories and stuff are never quite as good. And
it's boring Fallout, and that doesn't work.
Yeah. And that's why it didn't sell as many copies as the normal Fallout.
They should have made Fallout Battle Royale and then watch the money roll in. Spider-Man, Fallout Spider-Man, Marvel X Fallout Battle Royale.
You don't even need that.
You're just saying words now.
I am just saying words now.
What else?
I'm saying words that are making people go, yes.
Maybe.
So it looks like the Amico is like dead. I don't know if you clicked on the article. It wouldn't let me save the thing.
I didn't have to click on the article. I got the email directly from the source from it in television.
Oh, no, I'm just saying that there's the headline on Kotaku that doesn't show up on our outline is the Intellivision Amico is in deep shit is the actual headline that Kotaku posted. I like that headline.
Nobody saw that coming.
So they're chapter 11 officially now?
They're filing for it. I don't know if they're official or not, but they're filing for it. Yes. I got an email just yesterday from Intellivision highlighting all of the things that they have going on.
All the good things they have going on.
Some of them have they started production yet?
They have started their proof of concept production, right? Like this, they've got they're claiming to have their first samples are in the production process. So this would be their first samples of the device, along with like the final packaging and everything, is what they're claiming to be at.
Packaging looks great. Big fan of the packaging. I'm looking at it right now. I like how they've used sort of the retro styling, but also some modern touches.
Well, they are going to be licensing out the Intellivision catalog.
That is the good part of it, right? Like, it's like, yes, that's where you should be focusing on trying to make some money, is license out some games that are on devices that people own.
And also speaker hats. Tried and true method.
But basically, we laugh at it. We laugh at Atari, but they're making it's like little bits at a time.
I don't laugh at Atari.
And they started with speaker hats, but now they're up to the recharge games that we were just talking about how we like them.
Right. That's the type of thing a television should be going
That's where they should have started. They should have started literally with saying, hey, we own a television now. We're going to make some t-shirts that have all the old logos and box art on them. You're going to love it.
Nobody wanted to tell Tommy, it's actually hard to make a console. Like, that's why nobody does it.
You start off with getting with a little bit of merch.
I still think there were good intentions on this thing, and they just didn't know what they were doing.
Yes.
And then they just got blindsided by
reality,
by the supply chain.
That wasn't going to help. You think that was going to help that much? Like,
it would have helped. They could have faked their way through this a lot quicker. If
they're using 2015 cell phone parts, isn't that what?
Those are hard to get though. I'm serious. Like,
I know now.
If you're trying to buy old technology, it's hard to get.
Now it is. I'm saying their original plan was to fleece people by selling an old cell phone in a big box. And
it was all such a bad idea.
And probably at the time they were like, we can get cheap old cell phone parts, put it in a bigger plastic case, sell it to people for $300. They'll cost $5 each, and we're going to make so much money. We only have to sell 100,000 of them. And then by the time people realize that it's a piece of garbage, we'll have already made our few $1 million, and we'll be in Mexico, and it'll be great.
Also,
and
I would have been happy with that outcome.
Right.
That's my assumption. Again, that this is all that is
everybody that was buying one of these,
humor.
Everybody knew what they were getting into this. Like, they're not like it was people who had $300 of disposable income that were like, I'll fart around with this thing some. It's going to have the Earthworm Jim something or other on it. But
people just want the logo. They want the logo.
They're still trying to put this thing out is the issue.
Dumb. Just make the sweatshirts.
Right? Just make the sweatshirts. Make license the games. You've got some games that are there.
Everybody loves the Running Man logo.
Games and put this out and then have people try to buy this thing.
No,
because everybody knows it's dead.
Right? Who's going to spend $300 on something they know is a complete failure?
No one is.
But the box looks good.
You know what though? I bet there was, and I know this making this sound even more cynical, but I guarantee you there were plans to go on the Fox News style circuit with this console. Tommy Tallarico's in deep with is like a big Republican.
He is. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Why is this? Go ahead. Keep talking.
You think Tucker Carlson was going to have Tommy on?
I think there was a plan to market this to the right-wing Fox News crowd as
family.
This is your alternative to the violent
sex
video
box.
game. Yeah. The Xbox is, these are woke games.
Gay station.
You don't want to play these woke games with these, the gay characters or anti-religious or whatever things they would shoehorn in there, the violence in the video games. Like, this is a console with family values for the family. This is, if you're a God-fearing American citizen, then this is the only console for you.
It's the MyPillow of consoles is what you're trying. That's what he was going for.
I honestly think that's what they were going with.
Interesting. I mean, I think the big problem also, it's not a bad theory. Not bad. Right. Not bad. I'm not
I think a lot of their marketing was about how this is the family.
It's a pretty good marketing campaign.
It's the family values console.
I don't think that they had that marketing campaign in mind. I think you're giving them too much credit here.
Because I know that they were big on that side of the spectrum. And
that was their whole like talking point, right? Was this is something you play with family. But they're saying that also because the games are very minimal.
they're minimal and boring, but you get on if Tommy Tallarico could get on one episode of Tucker Carlson.
Oh yeah, of course.
Then this console becomes then grandmas are buying this for their grandkids for Christmas.
So and that sad,
especially if it had like some nice religious games on there.
I mean, and I guarantee, like I'm not guaranteeing you that was the plan. I'm like, I can't do that, but I wouldn't be surprised if
you should have got a job there. It's a good strategy.
If that,
is this your video resume or audio resume?
Seriously, if they had
join Team Amico.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, the problem is like it's really hard to make a console, and the guy making the console is a professional musician. He's very successful, like but he's a musician. He's not a engineer. He's not a salesman. He's not any of the things that are involved.
He's a little bit of a salesman.
Yeah, he's definitely
definitely a salesman.
Okay, sure. He's right. He's a video. Right. I forgot about his TV personality situation previously, but yeah, bad idea.
Maybe
bad
even
idea.
a little bit of an entertainer.
Yes, he's definitely an entertainer. We're all entertained.
I mean, it's only a matter of time before you turn on Fox News and you have Tommy Tallarico and Kurt Schilling talking about how violent video games are ruining youth, and how they know from firsthand experience. And that's why a console like the Intellivision Amico is so important. If that sounds so plausible,
yeah,
that if it didn't happen would be more shocking than if it does.
I'd buy one.
And coming up after the break, we've got Randy Pitchford here to do a little magic show for you.
So another part of this was like, of course, I got my refund because I was like, as soon as I had seen enough, like a few months back.
Throw the damn towel, man.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I was skating along here. I'm like, I don't like where this is going. And then I saw enough. I don't remember what the point was, but I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna ask for a refund. And they gave it to me my next day. But now it seems like they have downsized that person out of the company that was giving the refunds.
Smart. That's the first guy you fire.
Yeah, and so now they're using some of the capital that they're raising to pay back the refunds. So they're splitting their operating costs and then just like getting around to refunding all these people that have now asked for refunds.
What a nightmare. I like Wombat's. I don't know that Wombat's strategy. That's
I think it's a good strategy. I don't know if that's what they were going for, but I think
agreed.
It's a good marketing
It
plan.
Should have been their strategy if it wasn't.
Yeah.
Too late
Maybe
now.
not their complete strategy, but it would definitely be a tent pole in their marketing campaign.
Yeah. Right. Speaking of Fox News, I had dinner behind Bill O'Reilly recently, and after he left, he got up and left. I asked the waiter, I was like, "This guy's like a fucking cheap fuck, right?" And the waiter was like, "I don't like to speak bad about people, but he's an asshole and he's cheap." and the waiter was really funny. The waiter's like, he's like, "You can't be both. You can't be both of those things. One is okay, but you can't be both." Yeah. I knew it. I fucking knew it. I said to my family, I said, "I bet you he's a fucking cheap fuck, this guy. I mean, with all his money." And he didn't even have to pay off those women. Like Fox did that. So he kept a lot of his money, I'm sure. Still can't fucking tip.
What about Chorvs?
No, it's called Chorus.
Corvs?
Chorus. It's a new on Game Pass. It's not a new game, but it's a new release on Game Pass.
I played it because you told me I should.
I did as well. If
you like games such as Wing Commander and other space combat games, I think you're really going to like Chorus. It's like an RPG, but you're a woman in a spaceship.
I don't like it.
Why don't you like it?
It was like follow this stream and don't lose the ship in front of you.
Yep.
And I kept losing the ship in front of me because
you don't know how to,
it would go behind a rock, and I would go behind the rock to follow it, and then it still said I lost the ship even though I didn't. And I was like, "Fuck this game."
Yeah, I did that as well. And then it's like, oh, get back to the checkpoint, and then I use my like search power or whatever again, my ping stuff, and then it doesn't show me the trail anymore.
Not only did I not fail any missions I didn't die even until like 5 hours into the game. You guys have a lot of like space combat game experience?
Somewhat.
I mean, I played X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. Does that count?
I mean, did you like finish it? Or did you play it?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
so like
Everybody played that.
one game?
I played the Star Wars Squadrons game.
I played like Descent.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a really
I
good.
played Descent too. I like Descent. That's a good one. What else?
Yeah, it's just a lot of like
Star Wars. Does that count?
Like I like some of it, but then like so you get out of that first tutorial mission
I played
where
all
you're
the Star Foxes.
Yeah, you're very Descent oriented because it's like internal to like you're going through hallways type of flying. And then you come out of that, and then like the first mission that you see is like, oh, escort this ship. And I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want
I'm with Shipwreck. I think I want the game to be a bit more explory shoot than escorty.
Well, it gets there. It opens up and
there's
it's like an open world
so
game.
much though too. There's like so much just like there's icons. Like I hit the ping button and there's icons like every direction around me.
It's a little overwhelming.
No, those are just like things to pick up, like credits to pick up. And
no, but they're like side missions.
Yeah, but there's not that many.
Okay.
It's a few.
I played it for about an hour. I was not enthralled by it. I can see how people would like it. It's just
it looks ridiculous on the fucking Series X in the performance mode. I just started in the performance mode. That's the one that has ray tracing and the lower frame rate. And I would recommend that mode. I don't think you need the higher frame rate. I didn't even try the other one. It looked so good and played so good just on the performance mode. Sticking with that.
Do the upgrades get better? Like I did a few upgrades and I'm like, these are just some boring upgrades.
I got missiles. Just got missiles. I got.
You're 5 hours in and just got missiles.
Lasers, missiles.
Okay.
I don't know. I got my spaceship talks to me now.
That's good. So you don't have to just talk to yourself the whole time.
Well, you have I like the whole like concept of like you were in a cult. The story is you were in a cult and you were like the cult's main spaceship killer.
Of course.
And then you realize, oh wait a minute, I'm in a cult and I'm
the main spaceship killer.
Right.
Oh, so it's like Nexium in space?
Yeah, except they're killing a lot of people. Like she killed like 1 billion people.
So it's like Nexium, but in space.
She killed a whole planet.
She blew up a whole planet.
She blew up a whole planet and went, oh,
fuck, that's bad.
She had like second thoughts about blowing up the planet, but then she went, oh, I'm gonna blow up this planet anyways. And then she went, I'm out.
Right. Now's the time.
Now's the time I'm gonna leave. Not the before I'm gonna blow up this planet.
Right. But at the same time, she's really good at flying a spaceship and killing people.
Was this like in the opening cutscene?
Oh, it's maybe. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I skipped the whole thing.
Yeah. It was actually like pretty interesting. And
I watched.
Yeah, I know you don't have much patience.
I was like, I don't care about this.
I know.
When do I fly a spaceship?
Yeah.
It's a well done game. It's just.
It's awesome that they can make these games like these smaller scale games and they look like and play like this. Like it's a pretty good time. It's a pretty good time to be a gamer when like you don't even have to pay for this game. It's just there.
Sure.
It's there on Game Pass.
Right there, not paying for this game.
Yeah, I figured like it's probably gonna come to Game Pass. I saw when it came out. It's like this is my type of game, but it's probably coming. And it did. Didn't take too long either.
It's I'm glad you're enjoying it. I
have some great dogfighting.
Like
I've had some really good dogfighting experiences where like I am fighting ships and using like the objects that are in space as cover and flying around them, and it looks really cool. Looks like I'm really good at video games, which is not the case, but it makes me feel that way.
Good.
All right, let's go to the CAG bag. At Toxtra writes in and asks, are we looking forward to any games this year? It seems like a fairly quiet fall unless you like Call of Duty or Pokemon.
If it comes out, I'm still excited for Marvel Midnight Suns.
Not a chance.
I know. It was
The
supposed
marketing
to be
would
out
have
3
happened.
months ago,
Yeah.
but I'm hopeful. I'm still hopeful that game will come out, so I have something and I guess I'm not looking. Oh, Gotham Knights was moved to next year, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was already moved to next year.
What's the Call of Duty that's coming out this year? Is that the new Modern Warfare? Okay, that's this year. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah. So I don't know what else is coming out this year at this point. So much stuff has moved.
Is tomorrow's
Isn't God of War coming out this year?
Maybe but I didn't really love the last one. And it's just more, isn't it just more of him and the boy being the god and the boy?
being grumpy
Yeah,
And-
it's my life. I don't need that in a game.
minus the axe and the face
No.
paint. You have an axe and face paint.
Uh-huh.
Is tomorrow's the summer of Jeff Keighley, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say tomorrow we got something, and the Bethesda one is next week. So
I don't think God of
Sunday?
War is coming out this year if we haven't start seeing commercials for it. I feel like
June.
I don't know, or something like more like hype for it. Like some more. Have
I'm,
you seen
I'm
much
more
of it?
interested. I'm more interested to see what they have to say at the Xbox event next week.
Hmm.
And
It'll be
maybe
boring. All these are going to be boring. Come on.
I know, because they have nothing to show. There's nothing to announce. And nothing's coming out. People ask me why I play Fortnite. I'm like, because it's there, and they update it every 3 months, and I get something new.
I hope I'm wrong and these are going to be fantastic shows, but everybody keeps saying, the people doing the shows, when they're all saying like, don't get your expectations too high.
Right. Jeff said that, right?
Yeah, when Jeff Keighley's saying that is the opposite of Jeff Keighley, is what he usually says.
I feel like Jeff Keighley's the type of guy that would do Kojima a favor. Kojima asked him to.
Oh, no doubt about it.
I'm just joking. Captain Obvious.
I don't know. Like,
spoken.
and E3 came out today, or at least I saw a report. I don't know.
Yes.
That E3 said they're coming back next year, both in a physical format and a digital format.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Right.
These digital events, they're just so stale.
Yeah.
Like there's everybody's seeing the exact same thing. Everybody has the exact same takes because it's all like the same exact message that everybody's getting. There's no hands-on. There's no talking to people about things. There's no discovery.
There's no asking people how their show's going.
Yeah, there's just, it's missing so much.
Can I just tell you something about the Weed Expo? I just remembered. When you talk about E3.
Yeah.
The best Ben Gilbert story ever. Typical Ben. Within the first 2 minutes of the show, he gets into an argument with somebody because the person asked him for his business card.
Okay.
And instead of just saying, like, you didn't want to get, obviously, you don't want to give everybody your business card. Maybe you don't even have one, right? So if somebody asks you for a business card and you don't want to give them one, or you don't have one, you just say, oh, I don't have one, sorry, or whatever, or, whatever. That's what you say, basically. But Ben, what do you think Ben says?
Who asks for a business card in 2022?
Yes, exactly what he said. Exactly what he said. Exactly what he said. And now there's like, we just stepped onto the show floor. It was literally like the first booth that we walked by. And Ben said exactly what Wombat said. And the other person now is like, now is two people are yelling at Ben about the business card as we're like trying to walk away. And I'm like, what's happening? This is the weed show. It's supposed to be very relaxed. But that's Ben. Ben can find a way to get very uptight and, flailing, even at a weed expo. What else we got?
I think the other thing, like, sorry, I'm talking about E3 again.
Yeah,
I think the other thing E3 does that all of these digital shows do not is there's no one-upmanship. There's no somebody like, hey, we're going to try to win something, right? Like we're trying to be like the best of E3 type of thing. It's just like, oh, here's our digital showcase.
Right. Here's
like,
what we got.
Here's what we got.
I feel like every E3 is about one-upping the other.
No, that's what it is.
That's what I'm saying. We're missing that.
Oh, that's what's missing.
It's hard to put that into video form.
I was so confused for a second. I'm like, was he at the same E3s I was at?
Yeah.
Because it was pretty much everyone trying to one up everybody.
Correct. And that's what made it exciting. As far like, I don't care about console wars. That's not interesting to me at all. But it's the like trying to like show that your stuff is like different or better than other people's stuff. Where now it's just like, here's our trailer.
Right. Hope you like them. Hope you find them better than the other guys' trailers.
I hope this fits into this hour and a half, just like all the other trailers
got
too.
Spider-Man in it. I hope you like Spider-Man. Here's a game with Spider-Man in it.
Well, that would be good to have E3 again. Maybe
It would.
if they don't
Like
fuck
Sony
it up.
was that Sony thing? Is that their E3?
What? It's got
What?
Spider-Man in it?
Yeah, well, that they already had that one.
I was gonna say
They have another
that
E3
too-
coming up as well. I think they do, right? Or is it part of the Summer of Keighley?
I'm not sure.
I don't.
Yes, yeah. What's State of Play? Did that happen? That happened already.
That already happened, but those happen like from time to time.
Oh,
Like
it just happened. We just had one.
it's
of
another
those.
thing. Like these things happen like constantly, and it just takes away from the buildup of like, here's where all the news is at. Like
Right.
here's where all the games, the excitement is. It's like, oh no, it's another Nintendo Treehouse this month. They unveiled that another Pokemon came to Smash Brothers.
Woohoo.
All right.
Long live E3 is what
Mhm.
Chip is saying. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, bring it back. We need it.
Right.
Good luck.
Knights Eternal writes in and says, what would it take for Wombat to buy Fortnite crypto or NFTs? Exclusive skins or discounts on V-Bucks, or is he, or no, you wouldn't, nothing, right?
I can't imagine. Here's what I would say in regards to this. Let's say they said they came out with, I don't know, whatever my next must-have skin is. I don't even know what that is at this point.
Right.
Whatever it is, the Incredible Hulk. They don't have the Hulk yet in there. I would love to play as the Hulk.
Okay.
And let's say they come out with the Hulk.
But he's just a normal sized dude with a gun.
Yeah, with normal sized dude with a gun. And he's, and it's the usual like $15, $12 to $15 for the Hulk. And it's also an NFT. Then I would probably buy it because I want the Hulk skin.
Oh.
It costs the same as a regular skin.
Oh.
But I wouldn't care that it's an NFT. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like I would want the Hulk skin because I'd want the Hulk skin that's if it's the only one that's available.
So you're saying
If
you're
it
not fundamentally opposed to buying an NFT?
I'm not fundamentally. I wouldn't buy a Fortnite NFT if it was. And here's a Fortnite NFT for whatever $300,000.
I understand, but there is a situation in which that could happen.
But if the situation was now everything you buy in the shop is now also an NFT, I guess I would own a couple of NFTs. But that's really the only scenario.
I feel like NFTs are over already. Aren't they over already?
I feel like they are. I don't know. It's stupid. Every time I see something about NFTs, it's this company lost $6 million because someone put on a fake mustache and said, "I'm the CEO." And they gave them
What's
all
your
his
password?
money. Hi, my name is Mr. CEO of Monkey Town. I'm Monkey Town CEO. Give me your money.
Hello, my name is Mr. Burns. I believe you have a letter for me. Okay, Mr. Burns, what's your first name? I don't know.
But for Crypto Bros, they give the money anyway.
Right, just to be safe.
Oh, I mean, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. Here's my money.
I feel like Epic is not looking to do NFTs in Fortnite.
I don't think
they have enough.
Either.
They have enough with their V-Bucks.
Why add a layer onto something that's already making you billions of dollars?
Why fuck with it? Why go for the bad press? You're just why go with a cash cow and don't mess with it.
Instead, they released what would be a $20 Spider-Man skin and they put it in a $6 comic book. I like that method so much more than the other way around.
People didn't get the comic book though.
I did. I got two.
What are you gonna do with two Spider-Man skins?
I have one and my son has one.
You both have to have one?
Yes. We have two accounts.
Can't share.
You can't share skins on multiple accounts.
It's bad for the environment.
I know. I wish you could. Why is it this?
I'm just kidding.
It's fine. I got two different covers.
It's great. All right, let's go to bed. Okay. Time to go to bed. Everybody loves bed. And that's the time. It's enough show already.
Yes. Is that it? Am I supposed to say the words now?
Well, now you can say the words.
Bread's done.